Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Castor, for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to our FCC commissioners. The FCC plays a very important role to ensure communication services and Wi-Fi is affordable for American families and available. Commissioner Gomez, the takeaway from your testimony, if I can summarize it, is now the Commission is spending less time on consumer needs and has diverted its attention to powerful special interests. It does appear, and I share your concern, that the FCC has taken a tact that will make life more expensive for American families at a time when they are being crushed by the rising cost of living. And one example of this is what the FCC has done to make it harder and more expensive for students to access the Wi-Fi they need under E-rate that provides affordable Wi-Fi to students in K through 12, schools and to libraries and to families. This is so important to bridge the digital divide. I mean, all of us here, maybe you'd scoff at the availability of Wi-Fi because it's ubiquitous for folks who can afford it, but there are so many students and families that can't afford Wi-Fi right now. You oppose the ripping away of those E-rate dollars for certain students. Why?
That is correct. We need to make sure that broadband is accessible to everyone, and part of that is ensuring that it is affordable. And there are a lot of families for whom it is not affordable to have broadband access. So we had the Affordable Connectivity Program, which was the most successful nationwide program to ensure affordability, but sadly we ran out of funds for that. So the next action that the FCC takes under this administration is to rip away the hotspots and the Wi-Fi on school buses for students, and the hotspots are also handed out by libraries. And these are often the only means that people have to access the most important communications medium of the 21st century, and that is broadband. They need that in order to be digitally literate so they can participate in the artificial intelligence economy as well, and they need it in order to apply for jobs, in order for students to do their homework, in order for seniors to get their healthcare appointments. Everything is online. We need access for everyone.
And rather than focus on lowering costs for Americans, it is very concerning that the FCC chair is using the regulatory power to stifle criticism of the president and change news coverage to please the president. Beyond heavy-handed, it's dangerous and wrong. Going back to the Skydance acquisition of Paramount and CBS, Chairman Carr blatantly acted to enrich the president and to boost him. After months of regulatory delay, FCC approved the acquisition just days after Paramount agreed to pay $16 million to settle the president's meritless lawsuit attacking standard editorial edits at 60 Minutes. And then in exchange for obtaining FCC's approval of this deal, Trump was also offered $20 million in free advertising and a host of dangerous editorial concessions, including a promise to root out perceived bias, align its editorial practices to better suit the Trump administration's political agenda, and hire an ombudsman to police the news organization's editorial choices. This was a bribe by any other name. And Chairman Carr rubber stamped it. The consequences of these concessions were on full display last month when the new CBS News editor-in-chief pulled a 60 Minutes story on allegations of abuse at an El Salvadorian prison where President Trump has deported hundreds of Venezuelans without due process. Notably, President Trump had numerous conversations with David Ellison, now chairman and CEO of Paramount Skydance, and his father, Larry Ellison, executive chairman of Oracle, leading up to the merger's approval. But conveniently, none of these interactions were memorialized in the FCC's docket as required by law. Corruption out in the open does not mitigate its odious nature. And Mr. Chairman, the American taxpayers deserve so much better. I yield back my time.